Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and I hope that you guys have all been enjoying the full moon at 22 degrees Cancer. And my guest today is Jason D. McKean. He is the Reverend Wizard, the Om Dog Wizard. I love to call him just my brother. But he is the wizard all around Los Angeles, and he's been heard on the Voice of Om chants, albums, meditations, sold over 1 million copies worldwide. His albums include all Om Eternity, Om Sanctuary, 108 Sacred Oms, Eternal Om, Om Serenity, and he's born into a family of psychics, as everybody knows who I am pretty much. And he is a professional tarot card reader. And welcome, Jason.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
You forgot my album Om Beats as well, which is like an ucha 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 Om. It's one that's energizing as opposed to, just being in a fully relaxed meditative state. It's very, people liken it to drinking like a cup of coffee there, and yet still being in a place of, focus. And, it's like rather than being zoned out, one is zoning in.
Yeah. And then Om Indigenous.
Om-digenous.
Om-digenous.
Om-digenous is the name of a title that I did with our sound healer friends, Angelica and Evan Perman, also known as Sound. Oh God.
Sound Shrine.
Sound Shrine.
Sound Shrine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the didgeridoo adds this ancient vibration, this sound that it just feels old, and as you rest in that, it's a really loving, peaceful vibration. I did it so that it wasn't too Didge can be in some ways it's meant to break up energy, right? If you have a Didge player playing right next to your body, right? Like they'll point it like right at your heart, right? And you can feel the vibration just moving right through you. And it's meant to break up like, old energy, right? Get things circulating. And with this, there's some of that, but mostly it creates these real gentle beds there that then Angelica does her beautiful chanting over. And then I, Om over it. It's a very amazing album, and it's very peaceful. Someone likened it to where it felt like your mother or this gentle spirit was singing a lullaby to you, and that was like pretty apropos. I felt it. It's just a very calming, peaceful album. Om-digenous.
Yeah, I love it. But, I love all that very, tribal, it's so meditative, like you're, connecting with the earth in such a amazing ancient way. And, I should mention that I'm going to New Zealand and Australia in March, middle of March. I'm not exactly sure the date right this second, although the tickets have been purchased already. And we're just putting together a ancient spiritual teachings seminar in Australia. It will be outside of Byron Bay on a horse ranch, and with Yunundi Wadi, Wee Wadi. And he is a great shaman of Australia, Aborigine, and he and I will be working together there in Australia. So, and I have such a magical journey that I took with him, and just used my intuition, of course, just being guided to him, there in all of Australia, which is huge. And we went to the Outback together. So, it's going to be a wonderful seminar with him. But yeah, Indigenous. So I love it. I think it's great.
Do you feel that you meet people, powerful, like, practitioners and all that, like it seems like it's an accident or a coincidence that you meet them, but it's like kind of meant to be.
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting. I meet my thing is that I meet, my gift, I guess, would be, is that I meet, the most holy spiritual people of the world. Mm-hmm. And so it's very interesting. They're usually all working toward a common goal of creating a better place here on earth for humans. Some of them fall off the path, some of them that have been close to me, and, it's odd. It's kind of an odd thing. And then I'm close to people who I would never think that I would be close to as far as proximity of, I'm not even going to name names because everybody kind of knows. Sure. And, but it just is. And you figure out, why it's not necessarily that, I ever strive to be there. It just is. So, and it has to do something maybe with my shamanic energy of wanting to create a better place for everyone. And, yesterday I went to see Diana Donaldson. She's a great friend, and she's a Casa, John of God Casa guide. And she, does, really magical things. So she has the John of God bed, the crystal bed. She has, fractal machine. She has different quantum, different things to kind of gauge your energetic field. And so it's just fun to talk about it and see where, what you're holding on to a little bit. Because it's fun. Yeah, but I think that's the key to wellness is to start letting go of our issues and, really get some of this deep-seated stuff, just kind of resonating in a good vibrational energy. Yeah. That's kind of where to start. Drinking lots of good water and lots of vegetables and some protein and getting back on track.
Less holiday cake.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now I was really good on not eating the sweets until after Christmas. And then, it's like I missed out or something, and
oh my
it's
God.
like, oh no.
Was it just leftover stuff? I know that I brought. Did Mom send you cookies there? Did she send?
Well, luckily, Mom's cookies. See, we all fight over our Mom's cookies and our Mom's jam. Mm-hmm. We have a big rivalry about it. And if you're not nice to somebody, we got off the jam and cookie list. We make fun. But Mom sent cookies. Yeah. But, my kids, they're part of the jam and cookie thing. So they just completely go in for Grandma's cookies.
So they obliterated your stockpile.
Right. Well, it was kind of our stockpile, but they were so enchanted with the stockpile because we opened it all together.
Yes.
Even though my kids, are grown and away from home, but we were all together when the package came. And, so I think, I tasted a couple.
So you were forced to share it with them.
Yeah, which is great. Thank God, because she sends, a bunch because of the group. And, it was great. It was really great. And, the cookie jam thing. But, so I did get a few of those, but no, it was more like people were making fudge. Cheyenne made a chocolate fudge with, a salted caramel. It was, and real thin. So, you don't feel like you're really cheating too much because it's the thin fudge. And it's just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing eating this? But you can't throw it away because, she's a professional chef. So, I mean, it's the best fudge you've ever tasted in your entire life.
What do you mean by thin fudge?
Well, usually it's kind of thick fudge, which was great too. I mean, one of my close people around me, they made thick fudge as well. So, and that was just to die for. And all sorts of like Rocky Road and, was, fun, different fudge. But Cheyenne does the thin, where it's really thin, on the pan. It's not very thick. And, she just, I don't know what kind of ingredient she puts in it, because she's a master at, creating it to the exact, yumminess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, we got some too from her, and it is like very, very good. Very decadent. It's decadent.
She's a decadent chef. Man, I mean, I got to taste that berry, she was putting, blackberry sauce on halibut the other day. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
What was it, a sweet sauce with the blackberries, or did she, throw some like vinaigrette or, something like that?
It was kind of it wasn't too sweet. It was just flavorful of the berries. For some reason, she was able to get really the berry flavor out without it being almost anything else. I don't know quite what she did. Because you know how they're kind of sour, or they're kind of, crunchy, or they're kind of something, No, they were perfect. I don't know.
I'm sure the listeners are pretty hungry now.
Yeah.
Halibut with blackberry sauce and fudge.
Oh yeah. Well, even, I think spinach was with that dinner, and oh my God, the spinach tastes like, it was out of this world. I don't really, unless she just puts a lot of love in it, and that, they say that there's an energy that goes into the food as well. Her favorite place in life is the kitchen. So she's in her happy place. She's happy. Cutting vegetables and cutting, everything is, fire and knives are her thing. She just thinks it's so comfortable and comforting, and it's certainly not my comfort zone. So, but it is our mother's. Sorry, our mother's. And then it wasn't our grandma's, but our great grandmother lived till I was, 27. So she was with us our whole life, and she, I'm only 28, of course. And so Anyway, but she was a great cook as well. And every day we were invited to their house for tea. She opened her house up at 4:00 for the whole clan of the family to come in for tea if they wanted. And so we all would come in for tea and crumpets and scones and cookies.
Digestive biscuits.
And be loved by our grandparents. Yeah, great grandparents.
That's a good memory. That's a good. We were just talking. It's like our dad's birthday today.
Our dad's birthday today. He's been gone a long, long time, and it's really nice to think about him.
Yeah.
And Jason was very close to him.
Yeah.
And Dad was very close to me. I didn't say I was close to Dad sometimes.
He watched you like a hawk.
That's about kind of that's my relationship.
Yeah, that was your teen years, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. So he was something else, really. And And then, but Jason, had a great relationship. They did a lot of operas together, and gosh, they were always doing something fun. Plays.
Yeah, we wrote plays together that were performed up in Anchorage, Alaska, there at Fur Rondy time. That's like coming up, isn't it? It's like when they have the dog sled races in the
Iditarod.
And they have the local races, right? They have just the because it's a festival. I loved when they would have like the carnival rides there. They'd set them up on like 4th Avenue, and it would be about 10 below,
It would
and
be so cold.
and you would be sitting in these open carriage, like, the twirl machine, the Ferris wheel, these rides that just normally as a kid they're fun, but when it's 10 below,
they're not fun.
It's so freaking cold there.
Right. Yeah, you have to be really bundled up because everything would be outside. It's for rendezvous days.
Yeah.
And, it would be a little crazy. And then all the dog sled races and, like dragging logs to all sorts of things. And, and then they have the Iditarod race that starts. Yeah,
That's
which
right.
everybody knows what the Iditarod is. Yeah, they take the dogs to Nome. Sleds take the dogs to Nome. And, it's fun and it's one way. I mean, we enjoyed it even though it was cold, Jason. You just didn't prepare for the weather.
I survived,
Yeah, you survived.
I lived to talk about it.
Yeah, it's funny, I was in Ninelchik, which is a little Russian village, and a couple of years ago, and I was thinking, wow, this was my childhood, and I was watching this teenage girl walking around, and I was like, oh my God, just to think that I kind of left, and it was just interesting to me to think that I was once somebody like that walking around. Yeah, thinking about my life. Probably looking for boys.
Yeah.
But now, of course, I'm president of Awakening Spiritual Unity, which is a non-profit native corporation. It is an amazing, amazing corporation. We have an amazing group up there. Wonderful elders, and we're creating an agenda. We have an in-house grant writer. But we've been having a lot of fun creating this agenda and going forward with creating wellness for a whole, group of people. So we're hoping that. And Canada has just asked me. Some tribes in Canada have asked me to work for them too. This could end up being my life's work, really. You being dragged back to live in Alaska and do this huge, huge project. So I just kind of laugh like, oh no, Jason, are you going to come with me if I do it? You and Sue.
I haven't been back to Alaska in 30 years.
Yeah, I know. Jason reads Alaska, whereas I, on the other hand, go for 3 weeks at a time and, fly around and enjoy myself immensely.
Yeah. Well, I would enjoy myself, seeing old friends and all. But, Alaska for me, because, and it's funny because we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I consider myself a Californian, right? Because I was born here, and my formative years, up until I was 10, I lived here, and I was very outgoing. I was very much into sports. I was a state champion at track, and then when we moved up there, things shifted for me, right? And it's probably just puberty and all that stuff too. But I became more inward. I became an artist. Right?
I think it was puberty. I think that you all of a sudden became conscious of things, and so a lot of times that trip, self-conscious. Yeah, people get tripped by that and think that everybody's judging them, and still do. Once you reach that point where kind of the beast within awakens, that everybody gets a little trepidatious on, because I think that there, the sexual thoughts and, all of a sudden they take a whole different turn for people. When you're in a state of not caring, everybody comes an asexual being, then, you can actually get into a better state with everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's just less, you just give yourself permission more to just, be yourself. but you have to kind of work through it, because it's like once you become aware of it, like at puberty and all that, then it's like, pressure, right? It's like, you're trying to navigate a world, especially in like school and high school and all that, where everyone is feeling the same pressures. And so it's amazing that any of us survive it.
Right.
Not everyone does. But it was beneficial for me in that I became more aware of my inner powers, right? As far as like the artistic part of me, the filmmaker, the musician, the painter.
The production person. I know. Jason is so prolific that, all my CDs, MP3s, we collaborate and everything. We're a great family that way. We just collaborate.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fun. All my kids, everyone, we're collaborators.
Yeah, it's like working together, like, incredibly well. And I just finished up doing, I'm starting a new project, because I'm always like starting projects, right? And they're on YouTube, some astrological forecasts that I put together. It's you read in like one big sitting, right? Like in an afternoon. And then there's like work to be done as far as just making sure that, you can upload it and it's, recognizable, right? It's not edited, where it's all like a professional, session, right? But it's just trimmed so that you're cutting out like any of the excess. And for me, doing that, going through all of the astrological signs, it's both educational for me, because I don't consider myself an astrologer. It's like you're a world-class astrologer, right? But when one taps in to a particular sign with the tarot, one can start to see where, there's a connection, a real deep connection, between all of the psychic sciences. And they can definitely enhance each other and the knowledge of those. And I feel that, I'm educating myself as to to that world of astrology.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I love it. It turned out so beautiful. I mean, they're so wonderfully done, Jason. And, Teresa was telling me last night that she felt you were talking directly at her. Mm-hmm. Directly. It was everything she's dealing with, and she was so appreciative. I don't know if she's written you a text yet, but she was just like, send me Jason's number. I have to tell him. Yeah, because she's so impressed and just loved it and thought, gosh, he's so wise, and I can't wait till next month. And, she just was so excited. So, you're touching people with the way that you do things. Yeah, because mine is so in depth. When I do a chart, it's Eastern and Western astrology combined, and, I do my own thing, and nobody else in the world really does it like me. But, right. I enjoy it, and it's fun, and I'll teach it someday. I'll get there to teach. I am going to do some, I have all these big seminars coming up. I have the hypnotist training in Florida, which I'm co-training with Shannon Feather, and that's going to be fun. And then I have a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be happening in New Zealand, and like I said, in Australia, the Ancient Spiritual Teachings seminar with my Aboriginal shaman friend. And then I have some meditations happening, life force activation, just for an hour at Mystic Journeys in Venice, California, so Los Angeles area.
When is that going to be?
I think the 23rd and February 6th. There are going to be some life force activation. And so I'm just going to meditate with you, lead you into a guided meditation to, and then that's it. We'll talk for a few minutes but it's just a real simple, fun one. So just start doing some meditations around town.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is that like a 2-hour meditation where?
No, it's only an hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's only an hour, so everybody can just come. I think it's going to be from 7 to 8. I'll put it out there here in the next day or two. The advertising's being done now. And then I'm helping someone create space, too, in Simi Valley, California. So they're opening up a meditation center. And, yeah, so we're looking for commission, actually, because it's a retail space, so she can sell anything she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be fun.
Do people need, like after they experience a meditation, right? Do they need to talk about it? Do they need to just kind of, have a moment to either write it down? Because meditations can be like dreams, right? Where it's like, oh my God, it was so vivid and all that. And then, 5 minutes later, it's like, what? It starts to dissipate, right? The energy starts to.
Right.
And one can forget it unless they write it down and maybe, just writing down some key points again. So it just triggers the experience again.
Well, with this meditation, the life force activation, it's only enhancing your body. Mm-hmm, it's a shamanic tool actually to, just bring you into like a higher vibration and resonance. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm kind of known for is, with my clients, they come back over and over again because they want me to, life force activate them, or they want to, be aligned with their money and with their love nature or with their health. This is what they come to me for. Mm-hmm. And so, so that's what, it will be, is only the life force activation. There will be no questions. It'll just be you're experiencing. So you'll get to experience and then take it home with you. And then if you want to do another one, I'll be doing it again February 6th. And then, my schedule starts to get super busy. But, I'm doing some of this fun stuff until I'm busy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then, I have a couple Sedona dates as well already. I'll be in June in Sedona. Probably a mystic training I'll probably do in June, and around Halloween I like to be in Sedona. Mm-hmm. So, it's, the end of October. So I have those dates at the Creative Life Center in Sedona.
Is there another type of seminar that you're cooking up there for Sedona?
Well,
anything you can talk about, or
no, not really yet.
It's still percolating.
Yeah, percolation on different things, because I just have so many, the polls, because I have the Simi Valley Center too that I can work out of now too. So, I'll probably do some seminars in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I love about Simi Valley too is that it's very much on the kind of northern part of the valley, the San Fernando Valley, and most of the activities, the workshops and all are based in West LA, and so it's a really long trek for anyone who's interested from that part of Los Angeles, to have to come in and kind of fight traffic and all that. And out there, it's pretty accessible. It's very accessible, as far as there's not, a lot of, traffic issues, and, parking is a snap.
Yeah. Parking. There's huge parking there. Yeah. Parking. Yeah, go on.
So I was just saying by making, yourself available for that. And I'm thinking of doing, teaching some tarot there as well. Yeah. And that would be, a really great location for anyone who doesn't have, the opportunities as much as, West LA has. Everywhere from Venice to Santa Monica and all that, there's so many, tarot classes and, meditation opportunities. And again, so I feel that, it could be, a really nice service to offer it over there in the, is it considered like the North Valley or?
I think so these days.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. And it's really nice. It's a really nice area, beautiful space, and, kind of brand new. And, it's a beautiful area.
Yeah, restaurants nearby.
Restaurants, wonderful restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nearby, they're like, right there.
Next door.
So it's not, like a couple next doors or something. I don't know. I can't remember it entirely, but beautiful restaurants. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fun. It gives it a difference. If you don't want to come into West LA, you have it at least out there, out in Simi. Nice.
I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
For you, the master. With the moon, all right? With the full moon. You call it a wolf moon?
It was the wolf moon. It's the Native American name for it this month. Sometimes I take a Celtic name, colonial name,
mm-hmm.
Chinese name, but I usually use the Native American names.
And with this type of moon, is it one where is it a releasing type of moon where you take anything that you want to release and you give it up, or is it one of taking in,
Yeah, this is one of taking in,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of people had a very hard time with it, and I'll tell you why you had a hard time with it. People, in general, is because it's really hard for some people to get along with other people. Their family members, their coworkers, their friends, and their enemies. Sometimes it's a very emotional moon. So people were pretty upset about things. And it's at 22 degrees, which is a master number. And so it was like, chop, chop, let's get it together. And so people went a little nutty. I got a lot of letters and a lot of messages that people were having freaked out. So, but it's about being spirited and brave and to come back, into a deeper understanding and really create wonder in your life. You don't have to, I try to help people not hold on to what holds them back. These are all shamanic signs. When people are not graceful in our lives, let go. Just let go. I know that family members, if you're under 20, it's not an easy thing to let go. You're supposed to learn the lessons and then let go. But, there are people who, and then there's people who count on you, and you can't necessarily let go of if somebody's in a karmic situation and you need to help them through money issues or health issues or love issues where, you're an actual somebody like a a best friend sort of thing. But people know what I mean when there's things that you need to let go of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it's a rotten relationship, if it's even just a mediocre relationship and you're wasting your life, it's like, come on. Even with friendships, even with, people drag you down, too much gossip, too much negativity. I mean, is this the road that you want? The money scramble. It's okay. There's always people, the money, it's an energy. Money grows on trees. Release your block to it. These are things where, we open up. We open up to receive. Mm-hmm. Receive all the great things of life. And so this full moon was a really emotional one of people releasing a lot of their anguish. So So it's the highest time on the planet anyway, as far as energy. So, yeah, this one really hit home for a lot of people.
You said something like right off the bat there about being spirited and brave,
Yes.
right? And I pulled a card just to, see if it could add anything, and I pulled the strength card. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The strength card in the traditional tarot has a lion with the maiden. All right. And in the Wizard's Tarot, it's a dragon with the maiden. But it's a reminder, right, that the energy that we have, that is our energy, right? And we can, try to, utilize that energy, right? It's our life force, right? And
yes.
I think that with those two aspects, the dragon kind of represents like raw power, right? Like our own like raw power that emanates from our lower chakras. And then the maiden is higher self. It's how we convert that raw energy into higher expression, how we use it for healing as opposed to hurting, the others in our life, right? Family, friends, loved ones. And
right. And the dichotomy of the dark with the light, to where, the human condition with the darkness of whatever it means on the dragon, which is a mythical creature that sits in a cave, and we haven't seen the dragon it's probably they were all slaves back when. And it's an interesting dichotomy of the light and the dark, and the male and the female energy, and the yin and the yang. The strength of where do you gain strength? Do you gain strength from a dark space, or do you gain strength from a light space? And is that gaining strength in either one of them? Maybe it's standing upon the earth and being vital in your physical body and allowing your mind to be as strong as your body is. And then it creates your spirit and strength. It's kind of the conceptual part of that is interesting.
Well, the bravery aspect, right? Because the strength card is also a card of, it's a card of courage, right? And courage is if you're afraid, it's like, you don't wait for a time that you're not afraid to move forward in what it is that you want for yourself. All right. It's like you have to move through the fear. All right. So one uses that energy. It's a conversion of that dark energy, or I don't see it as bad energy, just kind of like raw energy. Like if one becomes like in a situation where, there's fear or something, right? Like there's adrenaline, right? It's like it can be expressed as fear. It can be expressed as action, right? Like taking action. I like to use the analogy of being on stage in front of an audience, because most people will feel a lot of fear just being in front of others, right? Like being in the spotlight.
Yeah. And they say that they'd rather be on a scaffolding washing windows in a skyscraper over being in front of people. It's like, what? I would definitely not be on scaffolding.
It wouldn't be my first choice.
No.
I would much rather, do a play or a presentation or something in front of others. But still, it's like when you're there, the scene is set and the curtain rises, right? There's always like that amount of adrenaline, of energy that's percolating inside of one, right? And it's like how one rides that energy, how one converts that energy, and learns to pace themselves with it, right? Rather than it all just kind of coming up in a massive explosion there, or a meltdown, right? Because people can become overwhelmed and then melt down.
Oh yeah.
And so how we you know, I guess either train ourselves or, you know, learn to be in that present state and be aware of what it is that we're feeling, and then how we can, use our words effectively, right? How to convert that, what it is that we're feeling, whether it's fear, you know, does it come out as, you know, adding to the negativity of a situation, or does it come out as a means to heal the situation, to solve the problem, rather than, you know, just keep heaping on more and more layers of problem.
Right. And that's the key, is trying to wrestle yourself out of keeping all that stress on your body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it as taming the dragon.
Taming the dragon.
Rather than trying to slay the dragon, right? Rather than trying to kill, like, the feelings and all. It's like we're connected to it. So we would be doing ourselves a disservice if we're looking to, destroy that energy, right? And I think, you know, it's like you're trying to activate people into a higher expression of how they use that energy.
Yes. Yeah, because we can all be in some kind of grief or sorrow or anguish or anxiety, frustration. Everybody gets there. That's that darkness that tries to take over all that nervous energy. It's like, like, when does, because the bills, let's just face it, you're brainwashed into thinking that society is going to save you, that, housing and banking and bills and all this, utilities, all of them are going to shut you down if you don't. And it's not playing the game. It's reactivating your body and reactivating your mind to say, okay, this is how I get out of this. This is the solution here. There's a decision here, and get back kind of on track. I mean, I see many people in their own stuck boxes. They're trapped. Right. There's traps, and we run tapes, small tapes, where you blame the same situation, you blame the same people, you blame, circumstances of some kind, to where, there's always a way out. The karma sets in for a while. There's always a set karma sometimes of where am I going to find my way out of this box? What is the right thing to do? Usually is the bottom line. Is it your problem, or are you taking on problems that aren't problems at all? Where is the way out? And I see this all the time. People create problems when there are no problems. They don't want to share. They're greedy. They're upset over nothing. They are creating a bad circumstance when it doesn't need to be a circumstance at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you able to point that out to them in a way that is that they get it, that they see their part in it?
Well, usually with all my clients, they come because they want to be led out, but there's and to wake clear, and I know that they come to you to be see it for me so that I can start to create the life I want to live. But no, I see so many people, they like it. They like the drama. They like the trauma of it. They feed on it. They think that that's an energetic life force that actually is taking them down. That usually ruins your health. Definitely the stress ruins your mental health. Because it's not important. What are we going to take off this planet is certainly not anything that's a material situation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as when you see beings or spirits on the other side, right? It's like it's not about the material aspects of what they had, right, when they were living and all. It's like kind of who they brought to that next level as far as who they were at their core, right? What their spirit was about. Is that
Yes.
is that kind of what you see, what you experience?
Well, what I feel that people take with them in death is love. Mm. You know, their skills, they say their skill set and love. That's what they take. So if they were like an avid intellectual, they usually take that with them. Mm-hmm. But, and you take away your emotions of, love or hate. But hopefully, on the love, you usually take who you've loved in your life, the passionate areas of your life. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I've had so much poltergeist in the last, always, but, I just have so much poltergeist going on all the time for messages, where they just want me to listen, and my TV goes on a couple times during the night in my bedroom, and, the fire alarms of anybody's house I'm in goes off. And, because the other side, they're like, we want to talk to you.
But poltergeist energy, that, are you just referring to that it manifests as a situation there, like a fire alarm going off or something like that?
Or pictures, coming off the walls, or my phone going off and saying same things. It's all sorts of stuff. It's funny. I'm always like, joke about it. I think it's funny, but I'm somebody who talks to the other side all the time, so they don't scare me, because I have a legion of protectors, and an amazing work is done, and I feel that it's always a great honor to be able to be working with the other side as well as the side. I didn't always feel like that. I don't know if Jason really always saw me wrestle with my psychic ability and that when I was young, but, it was more of a curse at first than a blessing. But now, it's just so easy. Somebody will say, like, is it easier to cook or clean and different, it's really easier for me to do psychic readings and be able to see a future. It's just the easiest thing for me. It's my natural talent, natural ability.
When you were wrestling with it, though, where you were like, preteen, like really young?
Yeah, preteen. And, because, Jason knows I had surgery when I was 7 weeks old and 10 weeks old. But the 6-week-old surgery was for 7.5 hours. So, and they didn't expect me to live through it. And so for me, the crack of psychic ability was opened very, very early. I remembered all my past lives, and I remember, and that's probably why I love my family so much. I just adore my family, and my kids and my siblings and my parents, because of, I know who they were in a past life. I definitely chose them for what they were. And they've all been like my soulmates, my nieces, and my friends, and all of, who I'm in contact with. I have great, amazing contact with people. And I feel very fortunate by it. I do. But it's from this kind of past life knowing that, I would be kind of supported, I guess, in some great way. All my life.
That's what I see as far as with you and your relationships with others. As far as you have an ease about you where you're not trying to put people into boxes. All right. As far as you're not trying to say, you can be my friend if you're this way. It's like you're very natural. You're comfortable in your own skin of who you are. And, if someone were to try to like say, oh, you shouldn't be psychic, right? To you, it's like, you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm going to go my way. You can go your way. It's like, we don't have to like, be friends, right? But just energetically, right? It's like, people are very attracted to you. You have like a natural charisma. And,
Thanks, JC.
And again, I think that, it's your ease of not, again, putting a lot of expectations on people, as far as where they should be at in their own journey. It's more of an acceptance.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think it's just, non-judgment. I don't have a lot of judgment on people's, what they're striving to be. I think that there needs to be like people who develop their psychic ability and develop the goodness of themselves, and to knock out any sort of like upsets that they're creating in their life, because I think that everybody deserves a really amazing life. And people who, because I get a lot of stalkers and a lot of, upset people around me too, who I don't know if they want to be me or if they, are upset at, but are just, but they're upset with their lives.
Yeah.
And it's just too bad. I am just, I'm, somebody who's a way clearer for the people that want that, and for people who want to create problems in their life. I don't carry your burdens. I do not carry anyone's burdens. So the thing is, I learned a long time ago as a counselor that if you're having a problem, that's you. That's not me. So, so I guess that's that the energetic flow of allowing grace at all times. I mean, I feel that I'm a teacher in this, and that I have to walk forward. I know you're great at it too. I mean, I don't know if it's our simpatico-ness, our
simpatico.
We're simpatico, I mean, my siblings and my friends and who I generally hang out with, very much, always trying to, create concepts and, pathways of, it's really fun. Like, I have a great life of allowing, intellectual energy, as well as concepts and, of all walks of life, to go ahead and clear that, because I'm really feeling that everybody can have that great life. But like I said, there's people who want to create chaos and drama, and for some reason hold on to me that way. They have a hard time letting go of me for some reason. I don't know really quite what that is, but that's their thing. Yeah. So we're getting down on our countdown here, and Jason is at Kathmandu and Green Man in LA, different times.
There's a psychic fair this weekend, this Saturday, at the Green Man there in NoHo, North Hollywood. And
and if you're into druid stuff and everything, it's really fun.
Yeah, they've got, it's a amazing store, beautiful store, and it's not so high priced too. It's like you can get like a ton of crystals and all that and not break your bank. And so from 11 to 6:30 on Saturday, psychic fair. There's a bunch of psychics to choose from, and I think it's like $10 for 10 minutes. As a
you can find
price,
Right, you can find Jason at jasondmckean.com, JASOND McKean, MCKEAN.com, and my schedule too is coming up, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and on TaraSutphen.com. And thank you for all the blessings, and happy full moon, and thank you, Jason. Love you.
Thank you, Tara. Love you too.
Bless.
Thank you for sharing your time with Tara Sutphen. Find out more about Tara's work, upcoming seminars, and meditations to help you fulfill your dreams by visiting her website at tarasutphen.com.